Hey guys, the page has been up for about a month and a half now, and with all the love and support I've been getting from you guys and all the great conversations we've been having, I figure it's finally time for me to make a video and introduce myself. I don't like being in front of the camera. I know it probably seems counterintuitive, but I'm pretty much a wallflower, so like this is new for me. So if you're watching, I appreciate you. I'm Darren Klutz, and I am the Wandering Fool. And you know, since I started the page, it's been a really great affirmation to me. Like the words that I share are, my own just thoughts and Facebook posts, from over the last 4 years. And I printed them out and I realized I have a stack about that thick of these random thoughts that I've had. So, finally getting to share them and not getting laughed at, and not getting ridiculed. Getting to share them with people who understand is really, really, like, for me, it's very, very healing. So thank you for all the love and support. So I was gonna keep this video short, but I've been getting asked the same question over and over again. So I'd like to pay it some credit on this video. A lot of people ask me what's your background? Like, where'd you get this stuff from? And and some people get it. Some people, who've been through the ringer and back, whose psyche's kind of been crushed and have to been rebuilt. It's like you get it that these thoughts and this wisdom, it comes from just life experience. And so my life experience is I'm originally from Fresno, California. I'm the son of farmers, and had a very controlled childhood. Black sheep of my family, and I say these things not to make anyone feel bad for me. I want to make that clear right now. I say them because there are other people who resonate with these concepts, and so I talk about it because other people understand that they're not alone. And so anyways, obviously in that area there wasn't much of opportunity, and my parents were like, either you work or you go get loans and go to school, or you go in the military. So I went in the military. I wanted to adventure. I wanted to see the world. So I did that for 20 years, and at the end of it, I was thoroughly broken. I had severe CPTSD. I was on 12 medications a day. I had a service dog that if I left the house without him, I would just, my anxiety would kill me. I can post a picture of me with my service dog if y'all want. But it was this life of suffering. This life where every day it was just like a black hole. I had just retired from the military. I had lost my job. I had lost my purpose. I was getting a divorce from my wife of 13 years, and so I had this black hole in front of me, right, where I was going to be alone, no wife, no job, living in an apartment, not knowing what I was going to do with my life. And then the universe, in the form of my dad, kind of forced me to go to Mexico. And so I didn't want to go. I did not want to go, but he bought me a ticket and I couldn't say no, so I went with him. And it was kind of like this experience of Dorothy waking up in Oz, where I went from this life of extreme suffering to all of a sudden I felt I was happy, I was laughing, and I hadn't felt that in years. And so I decided to stay with one suitcase of stuff. I was trying to figure out how I was going to move out of the house and where I was going to get an apartment. So I called up my ex-wife and I said, look, I'm not coming back. I figured out my solution. And so I stayed there for 3 years. And during that time, that it was like my old life didn't belong to me anymore. And when I talk about ego death, I talk about it from a very personal experience, because when I was in the States, before I went to Mexico, my ego was that of a military man, a husband, a father, a son, a hunter. Politically, I was right wing. So I had all these things that I thought, I was an American, I was a patriot, like I was all these things, right? And then all of a sudden I wasn't those things anymore. All my friends called me a traitor because I left the United States. Like my friends, when I had to choose to leave my kids to heal, like my friends disowned me for that, And so like all these things, all of a sudden I was a bad guy. I had become the villain in everybody's eyes. And so my family disowned me, my friends disowned me, and I was on my own. But so I lost those parts of me by which I defined myself. And what that did was it forced me to question like everything. It forced me to question the source of those labels, and the source of my suffering, like why, like what was it that broke me? Why did it break me? And what were the reasons behind like why I was doing what I was doing in the first place, So there's a lot of deep stuff for introspection. And it wasn't just me thinking, like when I was in Mexico, I was ordering books off of Amazon, and anytime I had a question, I would order a book. And so like I would sit on the beach with Jung, I would sit on the beach with Buddha, with Muhammad, with Jesus, with Lao Tzu, with Marcus Aurelius, Nietzsche, and I don't know if any of y'all know Saint Germain, but Saint Germain came into it. And so like I was being shown given the answers to my questions that helped me along the path inward. And so that's why I always say the answers are never found in books. That, like, the books are only mirrors, they're only guides to help us when we get stuck on our own path inward. So books and they do play a purpose, yes, but someone who is on an inward journey and uses a book to help guide him inward is not an intellectual. That's someone who is trying to understand their experience using a manual, using a helper. And so that's the difference for me. For me, an intellectual is someone who, straight out of high school says, I want to be a philosopher, and goes to study philosophy. And then 8 years later, they're a doctor in philosophy, and they've never had the experience to define the philosophy. So that's where I got to, basically, like, I look at it, if you watch football, like that was my halftime. I had really fucked up the first half of the game, and then I was given this reprieve from the game to be able to analyze the first half of my game and to take that version of me, learn from its mistakes, and apply those mistakes in real time to make a better future version of me. So there's a lot of self-coaching, a lot of, but at the crux of it all is I realized that I was wrong about everything. And whether I was or wasn't, it doesn't matter. Just that deep realization is humbling. And so I always approach new concepts with humility. It's like, when I see something new, I don't say that's impossible. I say, how could that be possible? What other puzzle pieces fit with that puzzle piece, and how does it fit into the logic of this web of reality? And so, like, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fucking fit, right? And there's a lot of these pieces, people say, why don't you listen to other opinions? It's because I've had that opinion before. And so it's like, once you've had an opinion and you've proven it false within yourself, you'll never listen to that opinion again. And so you learn a lot through being wrong. You learn more through being wrong than through being right. And that's what this is about. It's a game of self-correction, And so, anyways, that's where I awoke in Mexico. That's where I awoke. And before that, I was Sleeping Beauty, man, for 40 years. I thought this spirituality was all hippy-dippy bullshit. And And when I was in Mexico, the Spirit began to reveal itself to me through miracles, signs, synchronicities, manifestations. And I'll tell those if y'all want to hear them. Like, I have some wild stories that have some deep lessons in them. So I'm sure I'll get into those at some point. But okay, so I'm already at 10 minutes. I don't want to keep this too long. What do I see for the future of the Wandering Fool? I would like to do more videos. You know, this feels good. It feels like it's the right time. The universe keeps telling me over and over. I have a friend working with me, Jill. Hey, Jill. She's like, you need to start doing videos. You know, my fiance was like, dude, you need to start doing videos. Even like Facebook is like, hey, do you want to make a video? You know, and so it's finally like, man, I got to make a video. So but I want to start doing like question and answer type stuff, because I can talk like this about anything. Any of the topics I cover, or I talk about in my memes, like the ones that people are interested in, maybe I'll open up a poll in the comment section below. If y'all, you know, to see what subject you guys want me to do a question and answer on. Like, for me, the most fundamental subject there is duality. For me, that's the cornerstone of all my work. That's like, once you understand duality within yourself and how it manifests within yourself, and it comes, and it separates us from the world around us, then you start to recognize the triggers, and those are like as a manifestation of a duality. And so if you understand that trigger is showing you a duality, you can then understand where the duality exists and then how to solve that duality or let go of it. So anyways, like stuff like that, I love to talk about. This stuff is natural for me. And, you know, masculine, feminine energies is another big one. I'm still working with that all the time. I'm like working on like dark masculine, dark feminine energies right now, like Sigma energies. So, so it's interesting to go through this process. But, so I'm still like, I'm not reading, but I'm learning every day. I'm studying every day. And the conversations that I have with all you guys, like, for real, like 90% of my of the stuff that I write comes out of comments, because that's when I'm in my flow, is when I'm communicating. So that's when I'm not thinking. That's when I'm just, whatever comes out of me is going to come out of me. So anyways, to wrap this up, I just want to say thank you so much to every single one of you, because this is what this means to me. Like, I had to go through this journey. Yeah, I had my books, but I didn't have really mentors, you know. I went through this journey, you know, like all of you were going through this journey. I started out in spiritual awakening groups, and I went to like Earth Angel groups, and then Galactic Federation groups, and then psychology groups, and then like even, you know, I've studied the occult, I've studied the left-hand path, the right-hand path. I've been in Christian groups. I've been, you know, I've been in Muslim groups. I've been in all these different groups over the last 4 years. I've been just as actively communicating in them as I'm communicating with you guys every day. And that, because that's where I learn, that's where I get my fuel, you know. It's like, while we're learning, we're teaching. While we're teaching, we're learning, you know. And we're all just helping each other grow a little bit at a time, you know. Like, and so in every one of those groups, seeds were planted in my head, and, you know, they all started to form this picture. And so, like, I'm here to pay it forward, you know, or pay it backward, you know. Like, I'm here for my past self, because I wished, there were a lot of times where I felt so fucking alone, and I wished I had someone that was just ahead of me who could light the way for me, you know. And it's not that the journey's linear, you know. We can't think of it like ahead or behind. You know, there are things that y'all have dealt with that I haven't dealt with yet. There are things that I've gone through that you guys haven't gone through yet, you know. We're just all at different stages of the school. But, you know, like, the ones who've graduated the lessons need to help the ones who are still taking the course. We can help each other on this test, you know. It's not, you know, when we adopt the collaborative mindset, it becomes a group test. And we all get to help each other answer the questions, you know. So That's what it's about, you know. It's about, like, I came to I went to Mexico to get lost. I came to Morocco to get lost. I didn't come here to get famous. So that's not what it's about at all. I'm just a fucking dude, you know. Um, but yeah, so thank y'all so much. I think it's absolutely fantastic that, you know, among you, it's such a diverse group. You know, there's Buddhists, Taoists, Christians, and Muslims, and Hindus, and people from literally all over the world. You know, and we're all just humans. You know, like, we're all having the human experience together. You know, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. So God bless you all, and for anyone who celebrates, Happy Easter. And so it's a great day to be alive. Every day is a great day to be alive, and God bless you all. And until the next video, love you.